A very good afternoon to all ladies and gentlemen, and an absolutely warm welcome to our NTUC Learning Hub webinar for Unravelling the Tech Job Market. Discover high demand roles and hiring trends. Now, Skills Future Singapore and NTUC Learning Hub are proud to present this online learning experience to help you upskill for a better career and a better future. Thank you so much for joining us here today. So we definitely hope to unfold a great time with each and every single one of you. My name is Karen. It's a pleasure to be your host. Now, the Skills Future Festival Professional Series, together with NTUC Learning Hub, brings forth an exciting myriad of opportunities for you to discover how you can enhance your skill set, contributing to your employment and employability. So be it that you're looking for a job or upgrading your skills to give yourself that competitive edge, Skills Future Festival is the perfect opportunity for you to get a head start on your lifelong learning journey. Now, over the next 1.5 hours, we will be exploring some high demand tech roles and trends in these areas, as well as share about the career transition programs that we do offer to cater to these challenges and opportunities. Now, throughout the webinar, if you do have any questions, feel free to use the Q&A box at any time, and we will do our best to address them. Not to forget, we'll also like to encourage you to stay till the end because we do have a post-webinar survey where a survey link will pop up. So do hang in there. And of course, we also have our friendly consultants on board to answer any queries that you might have. Now, just in case that you have to rush off for any issues, we will be putting our WhatsApp number via the chat box, so you can always reach out to us at your convenience. So without further ado, I'd like to hand over the time to Chu Qian. Chu Qian, please.
Thanks, Karine. Okay, let me just toggle and share my screen.
Yep, I can see your screen.
Thank you. All right, so welcome everyone to today's webinar on Unravelling the Tech Job Market. We will introduce some high demand roles and hiring trends. But before we share a little bit more about some career transition programs that we have in high demand tech areas, for example, full stack Java developer, IT business analyst, UI UX designer, Agile IT project manager, and lastly, cloud administrator. I would like to also share a little bit more information about the current demand for tech talent in Singapore. So let's begin by addressing in the first place why you should consider a switch to the tech industry. So the tech industry is currently experiencing rapid growth and presents numerous opportunities for career advancement. And with its dynamic and innovative nature, it offers a stimulating work environment that encourages continuous learning and growth. So in the latest MOM job vacancy report shows that nearly 7 in 10 of all vacancies in information and communications were new positions, the highest level across all sectors for the third year running. And while at the same time, I'm sure we have all seen the news of layoffs in tech giants such as Google, Google's parent company, Alphabet, Spotify, and Meta and Twitter. While the staff in Singapore have also faced terminations, we understand that tech talent continues to be in demand in Singapore. And that is because the tech industry has actually become a driving force in various sectors, where industries beyond tech are facing a shortage of skilled tech workers. So if you look at this news report from earlier this year, 26th of January, we have Minister Josephine Teo sharing that despite layoffs at tech giants, there are continued investments in local tech talent in Singapore, and there's continued demand because other sectors, for example, banking, logistics, and even accommodation are ramping up their hiring of tech talent. And tech workers with highly specialized skills continue to be in demand. For example, software development, cloud management, cybersecurity, and data science. And we're excited to share a little bit more about some programs and key skills you should look forward to gaining to complete these kind of career transitions. So as shared, tech jobs are not just in big tech giants and startup companies anymore as they traditionally used to be. Banking, consulting, advertising, manufacturing, healthcare, food and beverage, and HR are interesting sectors where many opportunities continue to increase when it comes to tech roles. And what that means for us is, of course, more potential for career growth and advancement, and more career pathways beyond just the tech sector. So as increasingly job skills are preferred over years of experience, and firms are starting to prioritize skills over just plain academic qualifications, this new trend towards skills-based hiring provides a pathway for non-degreed professionals who have earned their skills through non-traditional means, for example, short courses, boot camps, or practical experience to excel in tech roles. And along with upskilling, there are additional strategies for success in transitioning to tech roles. For example, gaining IT certifications, gaining practice, and producing portfolio projects to showcase your skills to employers. So according to the Digital Economy report published by SkillsFuture Singapore late last year in 2022, the increasing adoption of new technologies has transformed jobs across sectors, offering opportunities to better our skills and pivot to new careers. And specifically, this report highlighted 6 emerging domains with strong demand, where as an individual you should look forward and prioritize. So one is AI, data, and analytics. So referring to data-related skills such as business data analysis, data visualization, and into the deep tech areas such as AI application and data engineering. In the domain of software development, we are looking at skills like interface development and customer experience. For technology application and management, we are looking at knowledge and skills in Internet of Things application. For cybersecurity and risk, we are looking at skills related to IT management and protection, cybersecurity and threat management, all the way to data protection management and security. In the area of e-commerce and digital marketing, emerging skills to pick up would be market research, consumer behavior insights, product sales and market management, digital marketing, communications. And in the area of cloud systems and infrastructure, which is also up and coming, we are looking forward to technical skills such as deployment, administration, and improvement of cloud infrastructure as more and more companies adopt cloud. And while transitioning to these tech roles may present some challenges and will involve a lot of learning and upskilling, with the right approach, they can be overcome. So something to understand is that acquiring new technical skills and knowledge is essential to meet industry demands, to meet employer demands. And to succeed in tech roles is not just about having technical skills, it's having a combination of technical and soft skills. So technical skills referring to, of course, depending on your career goal, could be programming languages, data analysis tools, IT support, business analyst, auditing, and project management. And soft skills, which are equally important and have been reported to be highly valued by employers, would be skills like communication, problem solving, teamwork, and critical thinking. And because tech roles, and I think increasingly roles in this current modern and digital workplace are very collaborative and involve a lot of problem solving. And lastly, another challenge when taking on tech roles is actually the fast-paced and ever-changing nature of the tech industry and the tech roles. And something that you must be prepared for is continuous learning and upskilling, because this is crucial for you to stay abreast of the rapidly evolving tech landscape and to continuously pick up key skills. So in addition, IT certifications also play a significant role in improving employability and demonstrating your tech expertise. As these certifications are obtained through training and exams, what these certifications do for you as someone who is seeking a career transition is that they validate your skills and knowledge in specific technologies, they enhance your marketability, and ultimately make you stand out to potential employers. So in this value of IT certification employer report, 66% of IT managers actually report that employees with IT certifications produce higher quality work. And this is in quantifiable gains. They are more productive, they are more efficient, and generate ROI beyond the cost of the certification. And additionally, certifications from reputable organizations such as Microsoft, AWS, Project Management Institute, ISACA, ISC Square, Oracle, and many, many more, they carry industry recognition and can open doors to new opportunities. So as we understand that the tech industry offers a wide range of job opportunities and the demand for tech professionals continue to grow, the next question would be, what do I need to do to successfully pivot into these roles, right? We need to equip ourselves with the necessary skills and knowledge. So up next, I will share a little bit more about some of the career transition programs for key tech roles offered by NTUC LearningHub. And these programs are designed for mid-career transitioners. They offer flexible learning options, whether it's full-time or part-time. They involve practical training and are curated with industry-relevant curriculum to equip you with the necessary skills and knowledge to make a successful switch to the tech roles. So supported by SkillsFuture Singapore, our SkillsFuture Career Transition Program is a train and place program to support mid-career individuals in acquiring industry-relevant skills to improve their employability. So trainees will actually attend our training courses in addition to some career advisory services and employment facilitation support. So some of the key features in our SCTP program is that number one, they are industry relevant. Our program is designed in collaboration with leading knowledge partners and subject matter experts such as Microsoft, Deloitte, and more. And they feature industry relevant courses and certifications to ensure your smooth transition to your desired role. And the second point is that in addition to structured training, they also include capstone projects or on-the-job training. So you have several opportunities in the program to apply what you've learned on a real-world problem through the form of capstone projects, which could be in the form of independent or group work. And lastly, employment facilitation services, where NTUC LearningHub, partnering with E2I, will offer career advisory services to enhance your employment prospects. So how does this program structure work? For flexible learning opportunities, we offer both full-time and part-time training modes, and so the duration would differ accordingly. In addition, what we do is the structured training is actually made out of several modules to provide a holistic combination of both technical as well as soft skills, and ultimately culminating in the capstone project to help you achieve deep proficiency of the skills. And the program, in addition to being full-time and part-time mode, will also have virtual training as well as face-to-face training. So in designing these programs, we also studied reports and research surveys, reporting on in-demand and emerging skills, because ultimately we want to ensure that the programs are relevant to industry needs and to increase your employability. And we hope that through the SCTP, which is designed in partnership with knowledge partners and subject matter experts, you can upgrade your digital skill sets to pivot into emerging job roles with strong demand. So throughout the program, our career facilitation team will be working with E2I to offer several key features. So one is actually the Career Resilience Executive Workshop by E2I, job matching initiatives and regular career fairs and webinars, virtual advice on resume writing, interview strategies and techniques, as well as a digital career coach through the Career Agility Hub app. And these are some of the companies where we have successfully placed our career transition program trainees in. However, do note that there is no placement guarantee in this program. So these are some success stories of actually our NTUC LearningHub's Train and Place programs. So previously, while we were executing the SGUS Career Transition Program, we achieved a placement rate of at least 84%. So if you look at the Associate Project Manager and Scrum Master program, we actually achieved a successful placement rate of 91%, 90% for the Java Developer program, 88% for the Full Stack Java Developer program, and 84% for the SGUS Associate Data Analyst program. And we also have a trainee success story with Miss Harani Asno. So despite her 15 years of experience in the graphic design field, when she was given a choice of either taking a pay cut or leaving her job during the pandemic, she decided to leave her job and work as a freelance graphic designer. And at that time, as she struggled to land a full-time job, what she did was that she actually took up our full-time UI UX designer program. And through the 9-month program, she, of course, picked up a lot of key skills and knowledge. And at the end of it, was able to secure a role in a tech agency as a UI UX designer with her newfound skills and experience. So before I hand the time over to my subject matter experts to share a little bit more about each individual program, just want to share a little bit more about, of course, the program funding and eligibility. So this program is open to all, but of course, in terms of funding, there's actually up to 95% of course fee funding from SkillsFuture Singapore to support trainees who are making this career transition. So based on your age, based on your eligibility, you can actually benefit from up to 95% of course fee funding. And this is not including additional funding schemes such as your post-secondary education account, your SkillsFuture credit, as well as your UTEP. So this can be used to offset any remaining course fees. So up next, I will hand the time over to my product manager, Josen, to share a little bit more about the full stack Java developer program that we have at NTUC LearningHub. But meanwhile, I'd just like to remind everyone, if you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the Q&A box. You can also scan this QR code to get in touch with our skills consultants for live responses. And we will also put these contact details in the chat box. So next up, handing over to Josen, please.
Hi, thank you, Chu Chin. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen. Just give me a minute. Okay, can everyone see my screen? Chu Chin, can you see it?
Yes, it's good.
Right, cool. Okay, once again, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Josen Santorquez. You can call me Joe. I'm the product manager managing our portfolio on software development, AI, then ML. Now, my part in this presentation is to show you and explain the different elements we have in this training program called Full Stack Developer. Let's get on to it, to the first question. So what is this program all about? Now, the basic premise of Full Stack Developer is to enable someone to be a software application developer. It's about building software applications. And it has to go without saying that applications are very, very important in today's economy because many companies are using software applications to drive their business, right? That without it, a company might fail. There's even one bank in Singapore saying that their core business is about building software applications. And then secondary to it is to offer banking services, right? So this is like saying that they are a software development company offering banking services. And this is a bank that we're talking about. But obviously, this company is showing high regard to software development. So that is why it's not surprising that according to the survey delivered by prominent organizations, among the different job tech roles out there, software development is number one when it comes to job demand. When it comes to monetary benefits, a full stack developer on the junior level can actually command a salary of 90,000 US dollars annually for junior level. For senior level, it can even go as high as 100,000 US dollars, which is not so bad at all. All right. Then when it comes to the our flagship programming languages, for the full stack development program, we're using Java as our flagship programming languages, even though we have Python, C, and C++, but these are programming languages for data analytics. But when it comes to enterprise programming, Java is still number one. Yeah, for enterprise and structured programming, okay? Then when it comes to our training program, so we have, when it comes to our courses, we have organized our courses based on the different elements of a software application. So when you think about software application, think about an application having so many parts into it. So there are so many parts associated into a software application. But we can break down these parts into two distinct and connected categories, where you have the front end, then you have the back end. So obviously we have courses we're offering for the front end, and we have courses we're offering for the back end. If you combine both, then this is where you have the full stack development. So again, the big question actually is, what is front end, what is back end of an application? So the front end side are the responsible for building the graphical user interface of an application. So this is how we call it, a GUI. So the front end is responsible for making an application looking so amazing, right? Or beautiful, as they call it. Okay, so think about all the animations of an application. Think about the multimedia files that you were seeing into an application, the videos, the audio playing. So all of these are contained within the front end side of an application. Well, the back end is responsible for the intelligence or the smartness, as we call it, of a software application. So think about things like, say, very complex calculation, complicated calculations, or say, collecting data from the end users, then saving that into a storage. So collectively, all of these are known as the back end side of an application. All right. And when it comes to our courses, this is how we organize them. So we have front end courses and we have back end courses. So going deep down into our courses, you'll see that in our pathway. So we have number of courses that we're offering for the front end, and we have number of courses we're offering for the back end. So starting with the front end programming, for the front end, we'll be starting off with web application development using the so-called three pillars of front end application development. And these are the HTML, the JavaScript, and the CSS. So HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, which is responsible for building the actual visual elements of an application. The CSS is the one that beautifies those GUI element, while the JavaScript is the one that provides some level of interactions within those GUIs. So in this 5 days training, you're going to learn how to build a web application using these primary front-end programming languages, okay? And the next part of it, we have React.js. Once again, a 5 days training. Now, React.js is a framework that makes front-end programming a lot easier, because in HTML, there are things that is so hard to do if you were to do it manually. So for example, say you want to make your web application responsive to different devices. So you want to have an application that looks friendly on any devices, like mobile devices, browsers, or other devices. Because obviously, as a web application developer, right, you don't want to have an application that looks friendly on one device but looks so ridiculous in other devices. All right, so you want to have a web application that's responsive to different devices. Okay, now if you were to do it manually in HTML5, it's so hard to do. But with React.js, it simplifies everything by applying those adaptability automatically. So you don't have to do anything manually at all. So this is what React.js is. It is something that makes overall front-end development a lot easier. Okay. So these are our set of courses for the front-end side of programming. Now going down to the back end. The next course is Core Database Fundamentals. So once again, a 5 days training, and this is something very important, considering that a lot of web applications nowadays are data-centric, meaning they all connect into a form of a storage. So might that be SQL Server, Oracle, or MySQL, but they would have to manage a database. So in this 5 days training, students will learn how to build the architecture of a database. So yeah, so they will learn how to use programming languages to manage databases when it comes to querying, data manipulation, and overall data analytics, including AI, then machine learning as well. Then the next course, we have this program called Java SE Programming 1. Now for Java, we split that into two different parts. So we have the first part, which is Java SE 1. Then we have the second part called Java SE 2. In Java SE 1, once again, a 5 days training. In this course, we'll be covering the basic foundation of Java programming language from start to finish. We'll be starting off with learning how to use simple variables, up to learning how to use basic programming constructs like if statement, looping statements, and then knowing the different types of data structures in any programming languages, like things like arrays and then collections. So basically, in Java SE1, you're going to learn how to be a very efficient back-end developer using Java. And the key highlight of this course is to learn how to use object-oriented programming, or OOPS, to build well-managed and well-structured Java-based application. Okay. In the next part of our Java program, we have Java SE2. In this training, in this course, you're going to learn the advanced concepts of Java programming, most especially on the part where you have to connect your web application into a really solid database server like MySQL, Oracle, or Java database. So basically, you will learn how to build a web application that can manage a database. Also, in this training, you're going to learn the different types of APIs that makes the application fast and so efficient. So things like multi-threading, remote operations, and a lot more. In the next part of our training, we have the Spring Boot framework. Okay, now in the past, backend developers are a big fan of using Java EE, right, for building enterprise application. But as we all know, Java EE is now a dead framework. No one's actually using it. Okay. Now the flagship product, the flagship framework for enterprise development is now Spring Boot framework. First of all, when we say enterprise development, this is a kind of a development that targets large organizations. So we're dealing with thousands and thousands of users trying to use an application and getting inside of it. Because if you only have a very small scale application, then obviously many users will not be able to use it. So the only way for massive number of users to connect into a web application is by distributing the components of your application across multiple servers. So this is what we're targeting with Spring Boot framework. It's a framework for enterprise development so that you'll be able to break down your application into 3 distinct components, where you have the back end, you have the front end, and then you have the storage. So in this training, a 6 days training, you're going to learn exactly how to do that. Okay, how to bring your web application into an enterprise-based architecture where you can have so many users who can actually use it. Okay. Then after we have gone through all of these front-end courses and back-end courses, the next step is to just do everything what you have learned. Apply everything what you have learned in this 20 days of training. So in the capstone project, a 5 days project, you'll be building your own enterprise application that's using all the elements of what you have learned from the other courses: HTML, web application, React.js, core database, multi-threading with Java SE1, with database programming, Java SE2, and finally, deploying the application into an enterprise architecture with Spring Boot framework. So all of those will be combined in the capstone project, okay? And since we do acknowledge that in many organizations, right, it's not enough that you're a technical proficient guy or a technical proficient employee. So in most cases, many companies will require soft skills skill set. You also have to have the soft skill sets, okay, to do your job a lot better or appropriately. So as part of our program, we're actually incorporating 2 different soft skills courses. Yeah, for the first one, we have we have this course, a 2 days course called Promote Customer-Centric Innovations. Then the second part is we have Support Workplace Improvements and Innovations, where you're going to learn how to promote your web application to the workplace environment. Okay. Yeah. So all in all, for this program, we will have So the time frame for the program is almost 3 months. We're offering part-time schedule and full-time schedule as well. Okay. So okay, once again, I have gone through this outline. Okay, going down to the outline level. Yeah, there we have it. Now, when it comes to the certifications, 2 of these courses are mapped into Oracle certification. Now, certifications are totally optional, but obviously, if you want to prove your proficiency, right, to a company that you're working with, if you want to make sure that you understand the product really well, it's important that you have these certifications. And The good news actually is two of our courses, Java SE1 and Java SE2, are tied up to two different certifications. So once you have completed Java SE1, then you want to go ahead and go to the next step of taking the certification. You can go for the OCA. OCA stands for Oracle Certified Associate. All right. Then if you want to go further to the next level, the highest level certification offered by Oracle, we have OCP. OCP stands for Oracle Certified Professional. So in OCP, the mode of examination will be MCQs and then practical work, where you have to build a real enterprise web application. All right. Yeah, so this is all from my presentation. Over to you again, Chuchin.
Thanks, Joseph. So I think we have heard a little bit about the full stack Java developer program. So I'd like to hand the time over to Uzi, who will be sharing more about his program.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Okay. Thank you for coming for today's webinar. So let me just share my screen. Let me put it on the full mode. Okay. Can you see my screen on the full mode?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. Hi, my name is Puzi. I'm the product specialist for Agile project management, business analyst, UI UX, and also IT best practices such as DevOps, IT service management, and DevSecOps. So I'll be presenting to you today on our SCTP IT business analyst program, also on SCTP Agile project manager, and also the SCTP UI UX designer. So please bear with me throughout this presentation. So our business analyst programs offered a structured learning pathway. So this is designed to foster a multidisciplinary knowledge integration. So you will gain exposure in this course to in-demand technologies across the various sectors. So building a comprehensive skill set to become an IT business analyst. So our holistic approach not only covers technical knowledge, but also hones your leadership and communication skills, and also your problem-solving skills. So practical applications of concepts in real-world scenarios will also have to provide some hands-on experience and also bridge the gap between theory and practice. So you become an industry-ready professional with our tailored curriculum. So these are the modules that will be covered during the SCTP IT Business Analyst. So you will cover 6 main core skills. Sorry. So these are the, okay. So these are the modules that you'll be taking throughout the course. So it consists of about 227 hours, roughly around 29 days if you were to take it full time, but of course spread in between 2 to 3 months. And if you were to take it as a part-time, it will spread probably between 4 to 5 months. So you would do a 3 days course on entry certificate in business analyst. So you do a lot of requirement gathering and also how to actually process data in your business. So this is an entry level program for a business analyst. This is under the IIBA, which is a well-known recognized institute on business analysts. Next, you will do business process re-engineering. So in an organization, besides refining certain processes, you can also come up with disruptive processes that can actually help to make the organization more efficient. And then you go on to do a 2 days course to become a certified Scrum Master. So this course is by Scrum Alliance, which is a very well-known and respected organization on a Scrum framework. So throughout this 3 days course, you learn how to work in a Scrum team. So there's the developer team, there's this product owner, and also the Scrum Master itself. So at the end of the course, you will be able to sit in for the highly respected Certified Scrum Master certification exam. So the fees are already included for this program. Next, you will do 3 days on requirement gathering. That helps you to actually hone your skills in gathering information from the stakeholders, and also from your other so-called customers and users of the software or the product and services. You got 4 days of a soft skills program, either in collaboration or teamwork. And you do a bit of data visualization tools using Excel and also Power BI. So this helps you in analyzing data and also in creating a nice dashboard for your presentation. And you also do a bit on database management using querying data with Transact SQL. So this is under Microsoft. So it helps you to do querying of data and also extracting data that can help you in your business analyst job. And last but not least, you do a 6-day capstone project. So you will practice whatever you learn throughout this entire course. So typically an IT business analyst, they collaborates with stakeholders. So they have to map out processes, identify areas for improvement. And most importantly, they have to translate business needs into technical requirements. So they work between the development team and the stakeholders. So they are like the middlemen. So they have to solve problems using data. They also manage projects. They facilitate meetings. And they also bridge the gap between, as I mentioned, between the IT and the business team. So besides that, they also have to ensure that the software and system changes effectively meet the organizational needs. So it's a day of problem solving and also collaboration. So what are their roles and responsibilities? So IT business analysts identify business needs, okay? So they analyze processes, and then they translate them into functional requirement. And then they have to coordinate with the IT and business team, also facilitating them in their communications. So in a nutshell, these are the 3 of the most important IT business analyst skill sets required. So in terms of demand for IT business analysts, yes, there is a strong demand for IT business analysts, not only around the world, but also in Singapore. So you can see, according to the Bureau of US Labor and Statistics, the demand for business analysts is expected to see a 14% increase by 2024. So this is among the highest in terms of average percentage among growing professions. So the reason why there is a big demand for business analysts is because there is a surge in digital transformation, big data, and also complex IT systems. So this has heightened the demand for business analysts. So these professionals are integral to the businesses relying heavily on technology. So as you can see, as companies transform themselves digitally, a lot of technology have been used to make the work more productive. In terms of salary guide, this is an estimated salary guide for an IT business analyst. So it ranges between 85 to 121,000, depending on their position and also their seniority. So in terms of nomenclature, in terms of these are the conventional job designation for business analysts. So sometimes they are called business process analysts, IT business analysts, sometimes they're called data analysts, UX analysts, and so on and so forth. In terms of persona for IT business analyst program, they are divided into basically 5 groups. So this program is valuable for these individuals, for example, like those aspiring business analysts interested to become one in IT, including those who are recent graduates or professionals who want to transit to a different field, or existing IT professionals like developer, project managers, or quality assurance professional who wants to seek a deeper understanding of the business analyst job role. So this course is also useful for those non-IT business professionals wanting to utilize IT to solve business problem or transition into an IT job roles. And this is also suitable for consultant, entrepreneurs, and also product owners who aim to optimize IT business value, manage product requirement effectively, and deliver customer value outcome. So in essence, anyone wanting to intersect IT and business to drive value will find this program very beneficial. In terms of certification for IT business analysts, at the end of each of the modules, if you get 75% attendance and achieve 100% competency, so you will get a COC, Certificate of Completion from LHub. And at the end of the program, you will also get what we call a final Certificate of Completion for the SCTP program. On top of that, you will also get certification from 3 different bodies. So in this instance, from ECBA, from IIBA, Power BI from Microsoft, and CSM certification from Scrum Alliance. In terms of prerequisite for IT business analysts, we need them to be at least 21 years and above, and a minimum of NITEC and above qualifications. In terms of funding, cost fee for business analysts, so for this program, you can enjoy between 70 to 95% cost fee subsidy, depending on your age group. And also depending if you are on financial support, you can qualify for our enhanced funding that funds you up to 95%. In addition, you can also make use of your Skills Future credit to pay part of the fees. And if you're a union member, you can use UTAP. And for some of the modules, you can use the PSEA funding for those who are 31 years and below. This is the cost fee. So in terms of what's payable is at the bottom row. So in terms of depending on your age group, so you pay between $4,500 to $1,000 for the whole course. All right, next I will move on to SCTP Agile IT Project Manager. So this is one of the growing in-demand IT job role. So the Project Management Institute came out with a recent survey, and they estimated that they need about 25 million new project professionals by 2030. Okay, so there is a real big demand for IT project manager, because a lot of the job roles in this world actually need somebody who can manage a project. So in terms of the median salary of a project manager in Singapore is roughly around 100,000 per annum. So depending on your seniority, so you can earn between 4,300 to 8,000 or even higher as a senior project manager. So I mentioned just now about the growing importance of project management. So according to McKinsey Work Skill Report, project management is identified as an important and growing skill to thrive in today's job. So you can see on the top right quadrant, project management is under important and growing quadrant, especially in the tech-like and also the tech-heavy job skill sets. Okay, in this slide, you can see that according to another report by Wiley Educations, project management is considered an essential skills for everyone. In terms of percentage, it comes close to 32% in terms of the 5 most in-demand hard skills. All right, in terms of conventional naming, so when you apply for a job, right, so sometimes they advertise it as a junior project manager, as a project leader, project coordinator, project administrator, senior project manager, and you can even go on to assume the role of a project director. So let's dive into the essential of effective project management. So it begins with establishing and preserving project plans, schedules, and budgets, while clearly defining the objective and success criteria. So when managing this project, you have to make sure that you're be wary and also cautious of the risk involved. So risk in terms of you spending more than what is required, or in terms of delivery, longer time than what it is expected. So all this kind of risk, whether financial or delivery risk, has to be taken into consideration. So managing project scope and also addressing any arising conflict is also key to successful project management. So project manager will also ensure the highest quality in your deliverables, and you need to do a lot of communication with the stakeholders and the team members about the progress. So that's why you would learn a little bit also on soft skills in terms of how you can communicate and collaborate with your stakeholder and team member. So resource management is also critical, from personnel to budget and also equipment. So you also need to conduct a lot of regular team meetings to facilitate decision-making process. Also, at the same time, make sure that you adhere to the project management best practices. So project manager will always aim for a continuous process optimization and ensuring regulatory compliance. And last but not least, you do also a lot of managing contracts and also vendor relationship in your project management job role. So in a nutshell, this is what you do as a project manager. So these are the skill set that is required in your job role. Next, we go through the list of courses that you will be taking. So you start off by doing a Leading Safe. So Leading Safe is actually another agile framework to help you scale your agile practices and philosophy in a huge organizations. So typically, when you, for example, like when you learn Certified Scrum Master, right, you will learn to operate in a team of about maybe 5 to 8 people. But Leading Safe will teach you how to scale up the project management agility concept throughout the entire organization. And then you will do 5 days of project management for professional, which is actually like a gold standard in terms of project management course for project managers. So at the end of the course, you can sit in for the PMI Project Management Professional Examination. And if you pass the exam, you will be certified as a PMP professional, which is a well sought after certification for project managing. Next, you will do 2 days of Certified Scrum Master. So this, you learn to work in a Scrum team as either as a product owner or a Scrum Master, or also as a development team. So CSM, as I mentioned, is one of the respected certification organization for people who practice Scrum as a framework in managing agility in the organization. So you also do 2 courses on data visualization using Excel and also Power BI. So this will help you to actually use dashboard when doing presentation, or even when managing your project. And you will do 3 days of IT service management program under, I think this is under Excelos. So this is ITIL 4 Foundation, which is the standard used by most companies in terms of IT service management. And you do 2 days in terms of how to do vendor management and performance management. And you do 2 days of leadership in DevOps. So DevOps is actually a principle to help the development and the ops team to actually work together efficiently. And you will learn 2 days on software development lifecycle and methodologies. So basically, you learn how a software development team operates and the different cycle that they go through. And in terms of project management tool, you will learn basically the Microsoft project. So this is a very effective tool that can help you in managing your projects. And you cap it off by doing 6 days of capstone project to do practical hands-on experience and also project work for whatever that you have learned during the entire course. So these are the certification that you will be getting at the end of the course. So in this instance, you will get 5 certification, PMP by PMI, CSM by Scrum Alliance, SAFE by Scale Agile, IT Foundation by Excelos, Power BI Data Analyst by Microsoft, and also DevOps Leader by DevOps Institute. Next, these are the cost fee for this program. Again, this comes with between 70 to 95% funding, depending on your age group. And if you're under financial support, you can even get an enhanced funding of up to 95%. So the cost fee varies from as high as 5,006 to as low as 1,200, depending on your age group. Okay, next, I will go on to do the last portion of my job role, which is Associate UI UX Designer. So today's we're exploring the immense benefit of why you study a UI UX designer. So in this digital age, UI UX designers are highly sought after to create user-friendly digital products that give companies a competitive advantage. In fact, the recent surveys that I read on the digitalization of companies, it is estimated that in the next 2 to 3 years, 40% of a company revenues will come from their digital platform. So UI UX designer basically manage either the web application or the mobile application. So all these are e-commerce platform that can help generate revenue. So this gives companies a competitive advantage in terms of growing their revenue. So this course will actually arm you with a versatile skill set, including user research, wireframing, prototyping, visual design, usability testing, and also and all these skill sets are actually applicable across the numerous industries and digital platforms. So more than just design, you'll be trained in creative problem solving, learning how to empathize with the user, and innovatively able to address their needs for an enhanced user experience. So whether you're starting a career or broadening up your skills, this course will be very beneficial for you. So with a diverse set of skills acquired, you can elevate your career, stepping into roles like web designer, product designer, or user experience researcher, or UX leads, or UI UX principal. So for those seeking freedom, autonomy, who wants to do freelancing, this course can also help you to become an entrepreneur, offering freelance or even services to companies in either UI UX designing job role. Okay, so beyond the career benefits, this program also enriches your personal growth if you want to do it as part of your lifelong learning. So it's a fulfilling journey that allows you to positively impact user digital experiences and really useful for those who wants to put a foot in the UI UX designer industry. Okay, so I have here with me two pictures of a gentleman. I'm sure you probably are very familiar with their faces. So the one on the left is actually our good friend Steve Jobs in his younger days. So Steve Jobs is also known for actually helping to create this user experience or even enhancing the user experience industry. So he actually is a college that dropped out, as you know, and unfortunately, when he dropped off of college, he didn't tell his parent. So in order to hide his real situation, he actually took some short courses in the college. And one of the courses that he took was in calligraphy. And later on, when he started Apple, calligraphy helps him to create interesting and exciting fonts in his Apple user experience interface. So you can see if you own a Mac computer, right? So Mac always have the best user experience, always have the best user interface. It's all because Steve Jobs, when he started Apple, he started learning calligraphy and integrate into the user experience of and the user interface of the Apple microsystem. So the one on your right is Don Norman. So he used to be he used to work for Steve Jobs himself, and he is the first person to actually hold the job title Vice President of User Experience. So he, together with Steve Jobs, had to expand this UI UX discipline and also helps to infuse it in all the Apple products. So that's why a lot of Apple products are great in terms of the user experience that they receive, from the unpackaging of the unboxing of the product to using the product itself. So next, why do we study UI UX, right? So you might be questioning why. So I mentioned just now, in the next 2 to 3 years, 40% of a company revenue will comes from a digital platform. So as you can see, retail e-commerce sales worldwide is projected to grow to 7.4 trillion by 2025. So you can see that digital platform like mobile and web applications in terms of e-commerce is becoming an important revenue generator for companies. And in Singapore, you can see, I'm sure you're familiar with Shopee, Lazada. So you can see the percentage of increase is astronomical. So you can see, for example, like Shopee growing by 82%. Okay. And then, so UX designers are actually also breaking up in all the different company job roles. So they're spreading across the workforce. So they are in banking, they are in industry, in transport, in logistics, in all the different industry, because a lot of people are using digital platform either to sell their services or to sell their products. In terms of the UX skill set, so these are the different skill sets that they need in order to become a good UI UX designer. So I will explain this more later on in the slide. In terms of salary scales, typically in Singapore, their salary scale is about, on average is around 5,478. But of course, if you start in as a younger, so-called in a junior position, of course you earn lesser than that. But in general, these are the salary range for a UI UX designer. So this one is taken from Morgan McKinley. Okay, in terms of cost fee for UI UX designer, you can also enjoy 70 to 90% funding from the Singapore government. So you pay, depending on your age group, between 6,007 to 1,005. So these are the different modules that you have in the UI UX program. So you start out by doing the Certified Usability Analyst, which is a 7 days program. So you learn on how to create say a web or mobile application, how to use different fonts, colors, what are the different layout to use in terms of font size, and then you will learn to do customer persona research. You learn to do usability testing. And then you go on to do 5 days of course in web design using WordPress. So this is a low-code platform where you can actually develop your own website from scratch. And then you do a capstone project. So there'll be 3 capstones throughout this entire program. So the capstone is basically to practice whatever you have learned before this. Okay, so you also do courses like Certified Digital Persuasion Analyst, which is a 5 days course. So this is a course on persuasion, how you want to use persuasion, emotion, and trust, what they call PET, to help you convert prospect into client. And you will learn 2 Adobe products, Illustrator and Photoshop. And you will learn a 5 days appreciation course on programming in HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So this one is basically also on web development, how to develop web from scratch, but using programming languages. So this one will give you a bit more flexibility in designing your website. And then lastly, you will do Capstone Project 3. So the whole idea, you have a lot of portfolios that you will build, and this portfolio will be useful when you are applying for jobs. So you will show them the different portfolios using Illustrator, Photoshop, WordPress, and also how you create wireframe, high fidelity wireframe, low fidelity wireframe, prototype, and all those things. So you also, at the end of this course, get 2 certifications, provided you pass the certification exam. Number 1 is the Certified Usability Analyst certification by HFI. And then the second one is Certified Digital Persuasion Analyst, also by HFI. So HFI, in terms of UX certification, among the top 5. So some of the responsibility of a UI UX designer will be like creating digital assets such as social medias, videos, EDM, digital advertisement, and you would learn to how to develop task flow, and then to do wireframing, to help in prototyping a new mobile or web application. And you also work with the front-end developer in designing, implementing, and also maintaining an e-commerce platform. On top of that, you also do user research, create customer persona, and also do usability testing, and also helps in building persuasive digital products and assets. So these are a typical graphical representation of what you would do as a UI UX designer. Okay, so this is the modules under the CUA, Certified Digital Persuasion Analyst, is 7 days course. And then you will also learn as part of this course what they call a user-centered design. So in this picture here, you see a picture of a man actually not using the path that has been built, but using a path that they created. So you can see that this design is actually an example of a bad design because it doesn't meet the user need. Okay, and I give you another example of a bad design. So the one on the left, tomato ketchup, is made of glass. So typically, if you halfway done with the tomato ketchup, you have the other half of it at the bottom. So if you want to use it, you have to overturn the hands, and then you probably have to try and squeeze or not the bottom of it. So it's become very difficult to squeeze out the tomatoes from the bottom. So another designer who learned the user pain point came up with another beautiful design using a different material, in this instance plastic, to actually meet what the user wanted. Actually, so he can actually squeeze the tomato ketchup easily, and he inverted the cap from the top to the bottom. So this is an example of a good user experience design, user-centered design. So for Certified Digital Persuasion Analyst, you will learn basically how to influence behavior of your potential customer. So these are the modules covered under the CDPA. So it's a 5 days course. So this is a very interesting course. I've taken this course myself. So this is applicable to a lot of people. You can use actually their what they call the PET tools, the persuasion, emotion, and trust markers tools, to help you actually convince people to buy or to click on the buy button, something like that. Next, you also do a lot of visual design using Illustrator, Photoshop, WordPress. So these are all the different software that you will learn throughout the entire course. So I end my presentation with a simple quote: gentle persuasion succeeds where force fails. So sometimes in life, it's important to have a good persuasion skills, not only for your job, but also in your family. If you have a family, when you get married, or if you have children, how you want to persuade your child to take a certain action or behave a different way. So if you take the Certified Digital Persuasion Analyst course, it teach you how to become a very persuasive person. So I end my presentation here and hand over to our host for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll have Gary next. Gary, could you come on screen, please? So of course, everybody, as you're enjoying the presentation, remember, if you have any questions, please feel free to use the Q&A function at any one point. And of course, we will do our best to answer your queries. And not to forget, you can always reach out to us via WhatsApp as well. The number is available in the chat box. So Gary, could you on your microphone and of course also share your slides?
Sure. Thanks, Karine.
No problem.
Let me share screen. Hi, everyone. This is Gary. I'm the product manager managing the cloud and infrastructure courses. Today, I'll be presenting on the SCTP Cloud Administrator track. This is one of the more popular track in recent years because of the immersion of cloud computing. So let me go ahead. Okay, cloud computing is a rapidly growing field, and the demand for the cloud administrator is very high because so many people and so many companies are moving towards cloud. And by taking this cloud administrator course, you gain the knowledge of and the necessary skills to enter this field and take advantage of the numerous job opportunities that is available for cloud jobs, okay, cloud computing jobs. Who is a cloud administrator? A cloud administrator is actually a professional responsible for managing and maintaining the cloud computing infrastructure and services. As you know, cloud is actually working like a subscription services like your Netflix. It works on subscription based on your requirement. And in this course, we will focus on two major platforms. We need that. Okay, so we'll be in this course, we'll be focusing on two major platforms, which is AWS and Azure. Okay, the responsibility, okay, what does a cloud administrator do? Okay, the main responsibility of the cloud administrator is these 6 key points. Like what I said just now, I mentioned just now, the cloud computing services act like a subscription service. So by provisioning, one of the key roles of the cloud administrator is to provision and configure the cloud resources, such as the virtual machines, the storage, and also the networking. Okay, so your job is also including like monitoring and performance of the cloud services that you have subscribed, and also if these services are aligned to your service level agreement. Okay, we also troubleshoot issues that arise between the cloud platform, the cloud infrastructure, such as the server failure or network connectivity problem. We also ensure cloud security and also the compliance, because this is one of your job as an administrator. You have to take care of all these things. And also, how do you optimize your cloud resources, the services that you have subscribed, and how to make the best out of it, and how to save money for your organization. Okay, and also collaborating with all the rest of the IT professionals. Why I say that because now cloud computing has come to a place whereby the cloud itself was connected to many other services like IoT, like machine learning, artificial intelligence, business intelligence, all the different kinds of software and services that was inbuilt in the cloud, and also from third-party software. Let's say, for example, you also have a VMware virtualization that is required to do on cloud, maybe on AWS platform and also on Azure platform. So the cloud salary range, okay, the average salary of the cloud administrator in Singapore can vary based on their experience and also your education, as well as the skill set that you have attained. Of course, if you are the developer with a cloud administrator profile, you will get a higher pay because of your different skill set, and you are very highly deployable because you can deploy on either side of the fence. And the salary, okay, I did a survey. Okay, usually for a cloud administrator in Singapore, the pay is about 73,000 to 95,000 depending on the experience. Okay, this figure vary depending on the size of the company. If you go to an MNC, usually it might pay you higher. If you go to SME, because of the job role that is different, the expectation of the job scope also different. Okay, so additionally, the cloud administrator with more years of experience naturally command more salary. So okay, what I'm showing you now is a survey done by Statistica. Is on who is the cloud market leaders currently. Okay, the cloud market itself are dominated by all these few players. The two major players will be AWS and Azure. That's why this cloud administrator track is very focused on these two vendors. And of course, you have our Google Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, IBM Cloud, and so on. But the one that was deployed most in most of the company will be AWS and Azure. So I also did a search on cloud engineer, cloud administrator, different roles, because sometimes the cloud engineer is also known as cloud administrator, depending on what they do. So you can see that there's quite a lot of job offering, 157 job, because we actually use the colon so that you really specific to the keyword cloud engineer or cloud administrator. So on different jobs platform, we have quite a lot of jobs available for these two roles, and the demand is relatively high. Okay, how do we enroll in the course, right? I'm sure some of my colleagues has shared earlier. Of course, you need to submit your resume and also your certificate, and also we need to evaluate what you have submitted to us. And if you are suitable, once identified as suitable, we will enroll you into our SCTP program. For the SCTP program, we also have a career support that is supported by our placement team. We'll have a career agility hub activated for you, which will help you in your interview, and some of the grooming courses and all these things will be inside. And you'll be supported with opportunities that we can actually gather from our partners who are employers that look up for such role. Okay, so these are some of the services. So this is the cloud administrator track, and these are the different courses that is included in this course. So the total cost fee for a cloud administrator track is $19,600, depending on your age group and your citizenship. There will be 70% and 90% for the cloud administrator SCTP track. So upon your certificate of completion, you will get a COC cert, as what you can see here. Let me see the slide. Okay, all right. Give me a minute. Sorry. Give me a minute. Something. Let me share screen again.
So of course, everybody do allow Gary to have some time to figure out the technical issues. We do see that a number of you have actually asked questions in the Q&A function. Thank you so much. So if you have any queries in your mind, just feel free to use the Q&A function right away. All right. And I'd like to pass the time back to Gary.
Yeah, thanks, Karen. Sorry, I have a little bit of technical issues. Okay, so these are the full track of cloud administrator. You'll start off the course with CompTIA Network Plus, followed by CompTIA Linux Plus, and followed by CompTIA Security Plus. You may ask me, hey, what is CompTIA? Who is CompTIA and what do they do? Okay, CompTIA courses are internationally recognized. They are a non-profit organization that focus very much on how to their courses are very focused on job skills. For example, if you're looking at CompTIA Network Plus is focusing on the role of a network engineer. So they'll cover all the different skill sets within the course that enable you to become a network engineer. They will teach you all the important things revolving the network plus networking in the ICT environment. And why CompTIA Security Linux Plus? Linux Plus, okay, Linux server are commonly used to deploy cloud services. All the cloud platforms are actually deployed on top of, most of them are deployed on top of Linux server because it's an open source server and is relatively cheaper to maintain. And what is CompTIA Security Plus? CompTIA Security Plus covers network security and cloud security, as well as physical security of the ICT gadgets. Okay. Then after we get on with all the job skills ready, then we move on to the vendor skills. You can see that there's a AWS Cloud Practitioner Essential. It's a one-day course. This course covers an overview of the whole AWS Cloud platform. You teach you all the different services that is available, and how do you use it, and how do you come up, give you an overview of the security that was involved, a bit of everything. That means it gives you a very good overview of the whole AWS cloud infrastructure. Then we'll move on to a 3 days architecting on AWS. So with this course being, once you've taken this course, you'll be able to construct a suitable solution for your AWS infrastructure you can recommend a suitable solution, AWS infrastructure to your client and to your internal stakeholder, or depending on what kind of things that the project requires, you are able to advise accordingly. Okay, then we move on to cloud operations on AWS, which is a cloud administrator course, which is also called SysOps administrator in AWS term. So what this course teaches is how do you manage the cloud platform, how do you subscribe, how do you troubleshoot. Then we move on to Azure 1 day fundamental course, which is giving you an overview of the whole Azure cloud platform, like the one that you attended for the AWS CPE. And these courses itself will give you, again, the different type of services that Azure platform is offering. What does it call? How do you activate it? And how do you do the subscription? Then we'll move on to a Microsoft Azure Administrator course. This course itself will teach you on the cloud administration for Azure platform. Then followed by 2 soft skill courses. And lastly, like all the rest of the SCTP track, there's a 10 days capstone project that helps you to revise whatever skills that you have picked up from this track and put into a real life scenario whereby we give you some case study. You will have to perform the few steps that was being taught to activate certain services, build infrastructure, or design a solution using the cloud services that is available. So the total duration for all these courses will be around 40.5 days, which is close to 2 months, 2.5 months, depending on how you plan the schedule. The course itself is 324 hours. So these are the course outline for each of the modular courses, which you can see here. Network Plus is actually a very important course that you need to learn, especially you are from a non-ICT background. This course will teach you everything about networking. They will teach you how to implement a network, both LAN, cloud, or WAN network, wide area network, local area network, or cloud, even on the cloud. We'll identify the components of a WAN implementation, identify the component in used in cloud computing and virtualization, and also troubleshoot manage network issues. Okay, they teach you from the beginning, from the very basic ones to the very advanced skills, the intermediate skills of networking. Then the Linux Plus is a system administration course for Linux server. So Linux server, unlike the Windows server and the rest of the server, they work on command lines interface. That means in order for the Linux to do something, the Linux server to execute a command, you need to type in a command line or some scripting. So we'll teach you some scripting basic and also the command line, how you use the command line to activate certain services in the Linux server, using the Linux server. We'll teach you how to do the network setting as well as the services. Also teaches you how to ensure the system security for the Linux server. Then we come to Computer Security Plus, which is a 5 days course. This one will cover all the network security and the WAN security as well as the cloud security. And also talking about the design, how to manage the console, the platform, and also how to manage the access control for your network. So like what you saw just now, the 3 courses for AWS are part of the original AWS vendor courses. You can see that the cloud practitioner is at the foundational level. whereby the two architecting costs and the cloud operation costs is on the associate level. So for AWS, right, the costs are divided into 4 categories: the foundational, the associate, the professional, and the specialty. So as like all courses, right, you will start from the foundational course, which is the AWS CPE. Then you go to AWS Certified Solution Architect Associate. Okay, the course, this is the architecting on AWS course, and the cloud operations on AWS course that leads to AWS Certified System Operations Administrator, the associate level. So you can see that there's a lot of ways that you can go upwards, progress. Okay, even for the architecting course, right, for AWS, there's 2 versions. One is the associate version, one is the professional versions. The professional versions is required when you are going to become a solution architect. So the vendor courses are very valuable because it's recognized by the whole wide world. All the ICT companies or all the ICT departments recognize the AWS cert. Okay, so we can also go to the developer if you have some programming background. You can also even go to some specialty area whereby they are talking about advanced networking, big data, security, as well as machine learning, which is a very big thing in Singapore, and the Alexa skill builder. All the AWS cert will last about 2 to 3 years once you get your certification. Then, so these are the overview of the AWS courses. So for AWS Cloud Practitioner, it's a 1-day course. Then you'll give you, you show you all the benefits of going onto the cloud and what are the different kind of services, how to describe the AWS Well Architect framework, how do you describe the core security services with the AWS cloud, how do you describe the basic of AWS cloud migration, and also how do you articulate, this one is important, how do you articulate the financial benefits of AWS cloud for organization cost management, how you define the core billing, core management and pricing model, how do they charge you basically for using their services, and how to use the pricing tools to make the most cost-effective solution for your AWS services for your company. Then we'll go on the architecting. Architecting is talking about everything that they have, how do you use their AWS platform and how to use their services to craft out AWS infrastructure. How do you work with your current Windows Server and all these things? How do you integrate the cloud into your environment? Okay. Then you will learn, this is the cloud administrator functions of the AWS. So you teach you how to manage, secure, and scale compute instances on AWS. One of the benefits of the cloud is the ability of upscaling and downscaling the solution within hours. You can actually do it, and you do not need to buy any hardware to do that. Okay, so we also identify container services such as Docker and Kubernetes, and the services available for serverless computing. And how do you build your VPN, your virtual private network, using the Amazon VPC? How do you configure and manage your infrastructure? So it's all about configuring, managing, securing, troubleshooting, okay, for all the administrator job. So now we have come to the Azure. Azure, we'll cover the AZ900 and the AZ104 we have shared with you. So for Azure certifications, the vendor certification, again, there is divided into 3 levels. AWS is 4 because they have the specialty. But for Azure, right, the specialty program is in the associate level. Okay, so you go with the fundamental, then the associate, then the expert. The AZ900, which is Azure fundamental, is at the fundamental level. Then you go up to the administrator level. So again, Azure fundamental is a 1-day course. So you will define the cloud computing and its key advantages, how to explain the public, private, and hybrid cloud, how do you explain IaaS, platform as a service, SaaS, cloud services, and also how do we identify what Azure management tools are available, such as the Azure PowerShell and as well as the CLI. How do you describe the Azure SLA and so on? So it's almost the same course as the AWS CPE, just that this one is on the Azure version. Again, we teach you an overview of all the Azure platform, what does it have, and how do you subscribe and so on, the policies and so on. Then we go to Azure Administrator. Again, this is an administration course that teach you how to manage, secure, configure, troubleshoot your Azure cloud. So these are the 2 soft skill courses. This one is focusing on promote customer-centric innovations. How do you use a centric framework to perform customer-centric innovations? There's some theory, some activities also. It's an enjoyable class. Then how do you support workplace improvement and innovations? Then follow, okay, this is the last slide. This is the exam vouchers that we are packaging in with the SCTP Cloud Administrator role. So we are packaged in the AWS Cloud Solution Architect Associate course. This one is in line with your architecting on AWS course. Number 2 voucher, we have put in the CSOC Administrator for associate level, which worth $150. This is the exam that align to cloud operations on AWS. And lastly, we put in the Microsoft Certified Azure Administrator course that is aligned to AZ-104, Microsoft's Azure Administrator. Okay, so these are the 3 exam vouchers that we are packaging, total worth about close to $500 USD. Yeah, I have completed my presentation for SCTP Cloud Administrator. Karin, go back to you.
That's right. Very big thank you to Chu Qian, Puzi, Joseon, and Gary for doing such a fantastic sharing session. So, of course, everybody, final call. If you've got any questions, feel free to use the Q&A function right now. I do see that we've got like 15 questions, and most of which our staff have already answered via typing. Gary, I'm not quite sure this question is for you. For the CompTIA certification exam, so coupons be provided in the course?
There will be no exam voucher included for the CompTIA courses. Only the AWS and the Azure exam vouchers will be included in this extract. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Zaisheng is asking, will there be a recording? I don't think we are sharing this recording, but nonetheless, if you have any questions about these courses, feel free to just reach out to our staff. You can see the QR code on screen right now. You can actually WhatsApp us, and we'll be more than happy to go through any of your queries. Okay, we've got a question from Aziz. I'm not quite sure who should be answering this, yeah? For IT business analyst, is the course fee included? Is the course fee quoted inclusive of the certification fee? Anybody? Would Chu Qian, Puzi, Gary, any of you be able to answer this? Chu Qian, would you
Hi,
like to-
Corinne. Yeah, I think I can
Yeah.
take that question. So for each of the program, we have certifications bundled in the program that are included in the course fee. So for the specific certifications that are included, you can get in touch by WhatsApping us at this QR code. So the answer is yes, the course fee includes some select certifications.
All right. Thank you very much, Chu Qian. All righty, everybody. Thank you so much for actively, actually listening to the presentation. Your questions prove that all of you are very attentive, and we're very thankful for that. All right. So of course, everybody, we hope that you have enjoyed yourselves. Nonetheless, if you have any questions later on, then quickly, take down our WhatsApp number. Once again, it is 84885482, or you could simply scan the QR code over here. Now, we are at the end of the webinar, and we would very much love to receive your feedback. So once you exit the session, you will be shown a survey link. So be sure to complete the survey, because it will greatly help us if you could just complete the survey, and we could better curate future webinars with you in mind. Now, if you wish to go for more in-depth training, then please visit NTUC Learning Hub website to find out more about the courses available. If you do find this session useful, then don't forget to check out the remainder webinars we have in store for you. It's all available at skillsfuturefestival.sg, and you can always follow us on NTUC Learning Hub Facebook or Instagram to be notified of all future events and promotions. My name is Karen. Thank you so much for joining us here. A very big thank you to our 4 speakers today, Chu Chin, Putzi, Josan, and Gary. Thank you very much, everybody. Till next time. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.